Hello, and welcome to another 5-minute car reviews. I'm Chris, and this is a 2025 Nissan Kicks SV trim. Here we go. Whoop, there's a step there. So let's do a little circle around the car, look at the looks. Actually, I kind of like the looks of this car. It's not a bad looking car, especially for the SV trims at about $25,000. So you get kind of a lot of car for that. As I've discovered just driving this car for the little bit that I have, the only real letdown is the power. But it looks good, and when we get to the interior, I'll show you all that. But before we get into that, let's see what the engine is. I know just from all the there we go. Just from all the information on this car, it's got a 4-cylinder engine with 140 horsepower, and I'm kind of digging this keyless entry because it locks and unlocks the car on its own as you approach and depart. There we go, inline 4, 141 horsepower. You're not going to win any races with this one, kids. But if you need some cheap, or at least relatively inexpensive transportation, decent on gas, this car might be an option, especially with the SUVs being as popular as they are. And here's the hood prop, but I'm going to put this hood down because it's heavy and Vegas is hot. So we'll get rid of that. How about we get in the inside and turn on some air conditioning? All right. We will check out the inside now, and let's take a look. It's actually a decent little place to stay. All right, as we open the door, you'll notice it's got the usual stuff: power windows, power locks, power mirrors, locks, mirrors, windows, window lock. And let's get in. Gosh, dang it. Your CVT transmission. And because it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, start button. Let's get some air conditioning going. Of course, you are greeted with the large entertainment screen, which is very clear, very concise, and everything moves nice and quick. Everything's pretty awesome. It's got everything you need. Wireless CarPlay, obviously, because I got the phone. See? And it's still doing its thing. There's a charge pad here. Get your phone nice and warm. Two USB-C ports. Parking brake. The D mode, which will come over here. And you'll see, changes it to sport. Or if you go down, pushes it into eco. Honestly, I haven't seen a difference between any of it. But we got all the steering wheel controls, menus, okay, and all the fun stuff: cruise control, automatic headlights, windshield wipers. Let's see. Let's get into the gauge cluster here. You do have some options. It is kind of configurable, not really, but you got your proximity sensors, so you know where your car is at and how close you are to another one. Your basic settings menu, which has some things in it. Your tachometer, which I don't understand. I don't think you really need it in this car, but okay. You got some driving computer stuff, or your MPGs, which obviously not too shabby. Speedometer and kilometers displayed at the same time, which is pretty dope. Tire pressures. Oh, now you know my music taste. Okay, so that's basically the gauge cluster. This car has actually got a really nice interior. These seats got this little pattern on it, and it's kind of a nice, I don't know, I almost want to say like a thick cotton, almost like a denim, like a soft denim. And that is also put on the door panels and right on this center trim here, and a little bit over here too. The plastics, as you'd expect, they're kind of cheap and soft. Nothing too spectacular. No sunroof or anything. You got your HVAC controls, which are normal buttons and knobs, which is actually really cool. You don't have to go through the infotainment system to navigate all that, which is nice. Very large cup holders up front. Storage container in the middle, which is kind of tiny, but I don't know what the hell you put in there anyway. Let's see. Yeah, air conditioning works great. Oh, and stop. Every car's got to do it. I get it. All right, let's all right, well, let's take a look at the back seat, shall we? All right, let's go. All right, here we go. All right, as you might imagine, the driver's seat is right where I'd put it, and still got plenty of room. Nice amount of leg room. Good, I don't know, 6 inches or so. Headroom is decent. I got about a hand's width before I hit the top. That pattern is brought back to the seats in the back seat, which is kind of nice. No USB ports or anything of any interest here. Unfortunately, you'll find the same thing in the trunk, but let's go check it out anyway because there's nothing interesting back there. But let's be thorough. Okay. All right, well, easy enough to get out of. Au revoir, la Paris. All right. Yeah, like I said, nothing exciting back here. The seats full down 60-40 split. Yeah, just a little containment on the side here for little things. Underneath, you have more storage. Fix a flat. Because why have a regular... Call roadside service. That's what you need. Call roadside service, and then you don't need to worry about a flat tire. Alrighty, kiddos, let's take this beast for a ride. Alright, here we go. Seatbelt on. Let's get it on. Oh man. Okay, the temperature gauge on that cluster here says 105. Holy crap. Vegas is hot, baby. Vegas is hot. But anyway, we are at the top floor of the parking lot of the Bellagio. And yeah, let's take this thing out onto the strip and see what it can do. The little bit that I have driven this car, get the mic out of the way there. I haven't noticed anything particularly sporty about sport mode, eco about eco mode. The seats are comfortable, a little hard, but they are comfortable. The only real gripe I have, aside from the lack of power and a CVT, which are, is the center console. And I'll have to show it to you, but it shakes. You can move it with your hand relatively easily. But, all right, we're heading to the parking lot. I've got to let you go now. All right, I'll let you go while I get out of here, and we'll go back to the strip. Looks like a lot of people want to get out now. Of course, everybody wants to leave right when Chris wants to go do something. Oh, whose fault is it really? Not mine, says I. Guess we're heading for the strip. Guess we're looking for some action. Holes in my head, keep letting air in and brains out. Hey. Oh, I thought that was a Kicks for a second. It was like, oh, it's a BYD. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. It's a BYD. BYD Song Plus. Interesting. I've never seen one in person. Okay, BYD. Yeah, you saw it here. All right, back to the review. Okay, I edited all that crap out. All right, so like I said, this car is very smooth, and on city streets, it's actually kind of peppy. Keeps up with highway speeds very well. Oh, here we go. And overall, it's a comfy car, and for a base price of like 25 grand or whatever it is, you get a lot of car. You get nice big screens that are legible and they work well. And on top of that, it's comfy, it's spacious. Like I said, you're not going to win any races with this car, but considering the price point, it's not a bad car. I'm not a huge fan just because I like a little more power. They could have bumped this thing to 200, but then I think they don't, because then you're getting into rogue territory, and you don't want to be doing that. Because then rogue is not that dissimilar in size. Maybe this is a little smaller, perhaps, but they're roughly the same. And you can get this in an all-wheel drive and a front-wheel drive, just like the Rogue. So I think the only saving grace between this and a Rogue would be this is probably a little more fuel efficient. And I don't hate the looks, but honestly, if it were my money, I think I would spend a little more and get the Rogue. It was, although that felt kind of, I don't know, it felt similar as far as power goes. So I guess I don't know if that extra 60 horsepower made a difference, but because they might be all let down by the CVT transmission. Here we go, green light. All right, let's go explore the strip, kids. All right. But it stops well. It goes decently fast. The only problem, like I said, with the power is that it wasn't immediate. And this is not a turbocharged engine as far as I can see or tell, so it's not like you're waiting on turbo lag or anything. Yeah, it looks like they spent more on the technology in this car, because the screens are beautiful. They're crystal clear. They do what they're supposed to. The rear view camera is beautiful too. You can see everything. It's got sensors all around it. So you can tell if traffic's coming. It's got blind spot monitors, so if you're trying to change lanes, obviously it's gonna help you out. There's a lot of safety stuff, so they spent their money on tech on this car at the sacrifice of some materials, and they tried to make up for it, like I said, with kind of the soft cloth around the dash, and the seats are nice, and it looks good. Honestly, I don't have any issue. It's certainly better than the previous kicks, and oh, dare we say it, the Juke. But overall, well, it's not gonna be a very fun drive because traffic. But well, let's just get cruising a little bit. It keeps up with normal traffic. It doesn't seem to do too much as far as lacking in that department. When you get on the freeway, if you need to kind of punch it, at least from a stop, because there was one time where I had to actually from a yield and try to jump out into traffic, and this thing wasn't the quickest, as you might imagine. So you got to kind of plan ahead when you own this car. But other than that, decent price, you get a decent car. Honestly, like I said, I'd spend a little extra and get the Rogue, or maybe a little more and get a RAV4 if you're in the market for this kind of vehicle. But either way, this is the 2025 Nissan Kicks. Do with it what you will. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.